We thought it started with the weird texts and passive-aggressive posts, but in hindsight, the pattern had always been there. My mom, Linda, lost 3 friendships before she even realized what was happening. One woman blocked her on everything and refused to listen when Linda tried to explain in the grocery store. She came home in tears that day, her ice cream melted in the trunk because she'd sat crying in the parking lot for 20 minutes. My dad, Martin, started documenting everything. He made a spreadsheet with dates, times, and screenshots. He even bought a printer just for this. "We'll need physical proof," he said. "Could be legal stuff later." Then Mallory showed up at Tommy's daycare. Mallory is my cousin Sophie's ex-sister-in-law. The daycare called Sophie at work, saying a woman claiming to be Tommy's aunt had tried to pick him up. She knew his full name, birthday, even that he had a dinosaur backpack and a peanut allergy. But the staff recognized Mallory from a warning Sophie gave after a previous incident. They kept Tommy inside and told her she wasn't on the pickup list. Mallory lost it, yelling about family rights, screaming that Sophie was unfit and she was just trying to help. She waved papers around that turned out to be nothing more than printed family photos. When the police were called, she peeled out of the parking lot so fast she knocked over a sign and left tire tracks. Sophie had to leave work immediately. Her boss was understanding, but barely. She'd already missed time for the CPS visits and parenting classes. Now this. She started changing routes to daycare, looking over her shoulder. That weekend we held a family meeting at my parents' house. Everyone came, except Mallory, obviously. We sat in the living room eating chips and arguing about what to do. Sophie looked exhausted. She kept checking her phone like Mallory might pop out of it. Her job promotion was on hold due to anonymous emails accusing her of being an alcoholic and endangering children, emails full of twisted truths from the birthday party incident. Meanwhile, my cousin Ben texted me. Mallory had changed her story again. She was no longer claiming to be pregnant, now she said Ben owed her $3,000 for imaginary baby supplies. She even included an itemized list of things she'd never bought. He also showed me screenshots from when they were dating. Mallory had bragged about getting revenge on people who wronged her, roommates evicted, coworkers fired, friends alienated through lies. Karma with a little help, she called it. Martin added those to his now color-coded documentation binder. He said we might be able to show a pattern if it came to court. Still, none of us wanted to go that far. Then my tires got slashed. I came out one Monday morning and all 4 were flat. Clean slices across the sidewalls. A neighbor said he saw a woman in a hoodie circling my car the night before. Of course, the parking lot camera malfunctioned. I had to pay $600 to replace the tires. The guy at the shop said it looked like something done in domestic disputes. I filed a police report, but the officer clearly didn't care. He barely glanced at the damage. Then Ben's landlord got an anonymous tip accusing him of subletting illegally. Ben lived alone, with a cat. He had to take time off work while his landlord inspected every inch of his place. The fake social media accounts multiplied. They messaged distant relatives with lies and fake photos. My great-aunt Deborah in Florida called my mom confused about a money request. The account had used details about her new condo, stuff only family would know. Then came the roses. 24 red roses arrived at Grandma Eloise's house with a card, "Can't wait to celebrate. Love, Mallory." Her 80th birthday was coming up, and she called my mom in tears. She didn't want drama at her party. But now she was afraid Mallory would ruin everything. The flowers sat on her table like a threat. Around the same time, things started going missing from my apartment. At first, it was small stuff, chargers, mugs. Then my laptop cord vanished. My favorite sweater. A whole spoon. Mom said it was happening at their house too. Dad's reading glasses. Random things. Then Sophie found her spare key missing. The locksmith said the lock had signs of regular tampering. That's when I bought a camera. 3 days later, I got a motion alert. I checked the footage expecting my cat, but it was Mallory. In my apartment. Going through drawers. Taking forks. Sipping soda from my fridge like she owned the place. I called the police. The responding officer took it seriously this time. But Mallory had an alibi, a job interview, with paperwork to back it up. The video wasn't conclusive enough. No fingerprints, no arrest. Our next family meeting was at Sophie's. Her house looked like Fort Knox. Comparing notes, we realized Mallory always struck when we weren't home. That's when my tech-savvy cousin Nina found it. We'd all shared Google Calendars for family events. Mallory still had access. We revoked it immediately. But the damage was done. Ben told us Mallory was escalating. Now she wanted $50,000 for emotional distress. She claimed their breakup cost her a job and gave her anxiety. She showed up at his school, pretending to be his girlfriend delivering food. Security escorted her out. The daycare was getting hang-up calls. One family even left because of safety concerns. Mom received a package at work, printouts of social media posts made to look like she'd badmouthed coworkers. HR had another talk with her. Then the letters started. Physical letters, mailed with stamps, sent to extended family. Each one full of cruel gossip disguised as coming from other relatives. Old insecurities and tensions were weaponized. My Uncle Wes in California was livid. My cousin Maya in Texas was heartbroken. The damage was deep. We spent days calling, explaining, apologizing. Some believed us, some didn't. My HR called me in over fake texts alleging harassment of a coworker. The number wasn't even mine. But I still had to defend myself. My boss said he believed me, but everything changed after that. I updated my resume that night. 3 days before Grandma Eloise's party, we had an emergency meeting. Half the family was fighting, everyone was exhausted. We decided on a compromise. Cousins would watch the door, no security guards. Jake offered to keep watch from his car. He felt guilty for introducing Mallory to us in the first place. The night before the party, none of us slept. The group chat was flooded with anxious messages. Mom baked cookies at 2 a.m. I watched the door all night. We arrived early to set up. Everything looked perfect. Gold and white balloons, photos, Grandma's favorite music. Then we saw it. A silver gift box with a red bow. From your loving granddaughter, Mallory. Inside was a photo album. The first few pages were sweet. Then came the red marker. Faces scratched out. Cruel captions. Your disappointing family. We threw it away. Agreed not to tell Grandma. But then, she showed up. Mallory walked in smiling, hugging relatives who didn't know the drama. Jake intercepted her near the dessert table. My dad and uncle joined. Veronica got loud. She's my grandmother too, she shouted. Grandma heard. She approached, voice trembling. Mallory, I think you should leave. After everything I've done, they turned you against me. She cried. You called CPS on your own family. You stalked us. That's not honesty, it's cruelty. Mallory pulled papers from her purse. I documented everything, she screamed, tossing annotated photos and text printouts. Jake started collecting the scattered mess. Mallory, stop. You were supposed to be on my side. She snapped. Sophie stepped in. You tried to take my son. You broke into our homes. You almost cost me my job. You all deserved it. Mallory shrieked. You talked behind my back, now you know what that feels like. Grandma raised her hand. Mallory, leave now, get help, or we will call the police. For a moment, she paused. Then her eyes locked on the birthday cake. She lunged. Brian grabbed her. Chaos erupted. 4 people pulled her back as she screamed. Jake picked up his phone. I'm calling 911. Mallory bolted, knocking over flowers. Her car screeched out of the lot. Grandma broke down sobbing, but then Uncle Wes stood up. Clinked a fork on a glass. We're still here for Grandma's birthday. Mallory doesn't get to ruin that. He got the DJ to play her favorite song. Dad pulled Grandma to the dance floor. Slowly, the party came back to life. The cake survived. The kids played again. We carried on. That night, we found a recording device under a table. Mallory had bugged us. We handed it to Jake for the restraining order he was filing. Monday morning came with news. Mallory had been arrested. Not for the party, but for threatening a politician on Twitter. The FBI had been building a case. She had hundreds of victims across multiple states. Fake accounts, false reports, harassment campaigns. The prosecutor said our documentation helped. Some people had lost jobs, custody, marriages. We were lucky. Grandma wrote Mallory a letter anyway. I still love you. I hope you get help, it said. Mallory took a plea deal, 5 to 7 years in federal prison. At Thanksgiving, we all came together again. No drama, no panic, just peace. Ben and Emma are a couple now. Grandma made it to 81. Tommy's birthday was dinosaur-themed again, this time, no chaos. Just a slightly lopsided chocolate cake and pure joy. Mallory is in prison. We're moving on. The restraining order is still active, but we don't need it. Not now. Sometimes I wonder if she regrets it. But then I remember, it doesn't matter. We survived. And now, we're finally free.